No one will believe in you until you do. That's the truth. Brutal, unforgiving, but fair. Because if you don't back yourself, why should anyone else? The world is filled with noise, opinions, expectations, criticism. People will talk, some will doubt you, most won't even notice you. That's reality. So what are you going to do? Wait for approval, wait for permission, or are you going to move? Without applause, without a crowd, without anyone nodding in agreement. The world waits, but you don't have to. Step first. That's what separates the winners from the watchers. Action, movement, self-belief before external validation. You've got a vision, good, protect it. You've got goals, great, now grind, because no one's going to hand you belief. They're not going to gift you confidence. You have to manufacture it. You have to build it from the dirt, from rejection, from the quiet nights when it's just you, your thoughts, and your doubts whispering in your ear. And you fight those doubts, not with hope, but with effort, with discipline, with persistence. You don't wait for belief to show up like a miracle, you earn it. Belief is not a feeling, it's a choice. And that choice has to be made before the results show up, before people clap, before your name gets mentioned. That's the uncomfortable part, believing in yourself before there's proof. That's the battleground. That's the test. You show up to the gym before you're strong. You write before you're a writer. You lead before they call you a leader. That's what it means to believe in yourself. To stand tall in a room full of doubt and still say, I'm going forward. Even if your knees shake. Even if your voice cracks, you still move forward when you make that decision. When you say, I believe. Not just in words but in actions. The world starts to take notice, slowly, quietly, and then suddenly. But you didn't do it for them. You did it because you refused to be a spectator in your own life. People will ask, how did you do it? And the answer is simple. You didn't wait. You didn't wait for belief. You created it. You stepped when it was risky. You moved when it was uncertain. And that step, that first bold, lonely, quiet step, that's where your power was born. So don't wait. Don't stall. Don't shrink. Step first. Believe first. Because once you do, the rest of the world has no choice but to catch up. Self-belief is earned in silence. It's not loud. It doesn't need a spotlight. It's not found in what you say. It's forged in what you do when no one's watching. And that's the part most people skip. They want the confidence, the recognition, the results. But they don't want the quiet grind that builds it. You don't announce greatness. You build it in silence. In the early mornings, in the late nights, in the moments when no one's there to cheer you on. That's when you lay the foundation. That's where belief is born. Not from likes or followers, not from praise, but from repetition. From consistency, from showing up. You don't need to tell the world what you're going to do. You don't need to post your intentions or convince anyone of your potential. That's not how it works. The ones who actually believe in themselves don't talk about it. They live it. They work when it's hard. They execute when it's quiet. They build discipline when motivation disappears. Because belief isn't a speech, it's a track record. You prove it to yourself through your own actions. Every time you get up when you don't feel like it. Every time you choose the hard path instead of the easy way out. Every time you do the work without the noise. That's where belief grows, slowly, strongly. Silently, the strongest people you'll ever meet aren't the ones shouting about what they'll do. They're the ones too busy doing it. They're quiet, focused, ruthless with their time, because they know the truth. Self-belief doesn't require an audience. It requires proof, and that proof is earned when no one's clapping. Stop seeking validation. You don't need it. Let your results do the talking. Let your improvement, your growth, your resilience speak for you. Silence the noise, starve the ego, build quietly, dominate privately, and when the time comes, when the light does hit you, you'll be ready, not because of hype, but because of hard evidence. You'll know you belong because you earned it. Self-belief is not arrogance. It's not pretending. It's not bragging. It's quiet strength. It's inner confidence that doesn't need to be advertised. And you get it by doing the work consistently, relentlessly, silently. So stop announcing your goals. Start achieving them. Stop waiting for support. Start supporting yourself. Put your head down, get to work, and trust the process. Trust yourself. And when it's time to speak, you won't need to say a word. Your results will say everything. Confidence comes from reps, not talk. It doesn't come from telling people how great you are. It doesn't come from hyping yourself up with empty words. It comes from doing. Over and over again. It comes from the grind, the discipline, the repetition. Confidence is built the same way strength is, through resistance, through pain, through consistency. You want to feel confident in your skill. Then show up every day, especially when you don't feel like it. That's where the edge is made, not when it's easy, not when the stars align, but when everything in you says skip it today, and you go anyway. That's the rep that matters. That's the rep that changes you. Talking doesn't build muscle. Thinking about greatness doesn't produce results. The mirror won't reflect power until you put in the reps. Real confidence is not noise. It's quiet certainty earned through work, through failure, through persistence. Every time you train, every time you practice, every time you choose discipline over comfort, that's one more brick in the foundation of your confidence. Not fake confidence, not inflated ego, real confidence, the kind that can't be shaken, the kind that shows up under pressure, the kind that leads, that stands tall when it counts. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need approval. You need sweat. You need grind. You need the patience to do the same thing day after day, knowing that each small rep is building something massive inside you, and it's not about perfection. It's about presence, being there, showing up when it's cold, when it's dark, when you're tired, when the world is comfortable and sleeping, and you're still going, still pushing. That's how confidence is built. Not in the comfort zone, but far beyond it. Confidence is earned in the silence of your routine. It's born in the repetition of your craft, in the hours when no one claps for you, no audience, no recognition. Just you, your will, and the grind. That's where it grows. People will wonder how you got so sure of yourself. They'll think it came out of nowhere. They won't see the early mornings, the lonely sessions, the failures you faced, and the times you didn't quit. But you'll know it came from reps, from hours, from doing it when you didn't want to. So skip the talk, forget the noise, get under the bar, get on the mat, open the book, hit the track. Whatever your battlefield is, show up and fight, because confidence doesn't come from what you say. It comes from what you survive, what you conquer, and what you repeat again and again and again. Doubt is a liar. It whispers the worst case scenarios. It thrives on hesitation. It feeds off fear, and the moment you start listening to it, entertaining it, feeding it with your attention, it grows, it gets louder, stronger, until it becomes the only voice you hear. That's its game, that's its strategy, but you don't have to play along. You don't fight doubt with more thinking. You don't debate it. You silence it, not with words, but with action. With discipline, with execution. Doubt talks, you move. Doubt imagines failure, you prepare for battle. Doubt says, what if you lose? And you answer, what if I don't quit? Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need motivation. It doesn't ask permission. It shows up regardless. And that's why it's your best weapon against doubt. Because discipline brings clarity. It simplifies things. It narrows your focus. One task, one step, one rep at a time, and suddenly the noise fades. The fear loses power. Doubt loses its grip. Every time you get up and do what needs to be done, even with doubt in your mind, you starve it. You weaken it because doubt feeds on your inaction, on your delay, on your excuses. But when you act anyway, when you push through anyway, that's when doubt realizes it doesn't own you. You'll never fully eliminate doubt. It'll always be there in some form, but you can choose not to feed it, not to engage it. You can let it scream while you remain locked in. Focused, disciplined, that's the mindset, that's the standard. You don't need to feel fearless to move forward. You just need to move, even when your hands shake, even when your thoughts race, you move. That's strength, that's power, not absence of fear, but mastery over it. And that mastery is only earned through repetition, through the daily practice of shutting out the noise and doing the work anyway. Some days doubt will be loud. That's when you double down, you train harder. You get more precise, you control what you can, and you let the rest burn, because that's how warriors operate. They don't let the battlefield inside their head control them. They own it with action. With repetition, with a mindset that says, I don't need to feel perfect. I just need to show up. So remember this, doubt is a liar. Don't feed it. Don't give it space. Don't let it dictate your path. Let your discipline be the response. Let your execution be the proof. Silence the noise with your consistency. Kill the doubt with your actions, because at the end of the day, the voice that wins is the one you listen to the most. Make sure it's yours. Make sure it's strong. Make sure it's forged in fire. You vs you, that's the only fight that matters. Not the opinions of others. Not the noise on social media. Not the comparisons, the competition, the critics. All of that is irrelevant. The real war is internal. It's the battle between who you are and who you know you're capable of becoming. And that fight, it's every day, every hour, every choice. The man in the mirror is your greatest rival. He knows your weaknesses. He knows your excuses. He knows when you're lying to yourself, and he doesn't care about your words. He responds to action, to consistency, to discipline. That's the opponent you face. That's the enemy you must conquer, not once, but over and over again. You can't cheat this fight. You can't fake your way through it. The man in the mirror sees everything. He knows if you cut corners. He knows if you quit early. He knows if you said you were going to do it and didn't follow through. There's no hiding from him. That's what makes it the most honest battle there is. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the gym, every time you avoid the hard conversation or push your goals to tomorrow, he wins. But every time you get up, show up, and do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel, you win. You take ground, you build strength, you earn respect, not from others but from yourself. And that self-respect, that's the foundation of everything. It's what fuels real confidence. It's what gives you the power to walk into any room, any challenge, any situation, and hold your ground. Not because you're pretending to be strong, but because you've proven it to yourself repeatedly. This fight is brutal because it never ends. There's no off season, no rest. Every day you wake up, the man in the mirror is there, asking you who's going to win today. And your answer isn't given in words. It's given in discipline, in effort, in sacrifice. Forget the scoreboard in the world. Forget who's ahead of you or who's behind. That's not your concern. Your concern is beating yesterday's version of you, improving, sharpening, evolving. Even if it's just by 1%, that's progress, that's a win. And that's how transformation happens, slowly, painfully, through daily war with yourself. So stand in front of that mirror every morning and get honest. No lies, no filters, just truth. Are you doing the work? Are you showing up with integrity? Are you choosing the harder path for the sake of growth? If not, fix it. If yes, double down. You vs you, that's the only fight that matters. Win it daily, earn your respect. And when the world sees what you become, they'll call it greatness, but you'll know it was just the result of showing up and winning the war within. Every single day, make belief a weapon, not a wish. Too many people treat belief like it's something soft, something fragile, something emotional, but real belief, the kind that changes you, drives you, reshapes your life, is anything but soft. It's forged in fire, it's tested through pain, it's sharpened by doubt, and if you do it right, it becomes your greatest weapon. You don't sit around hoping something happens. Hope is passive. Hope is weak when it stands alone. Belief, on the other hand, is a decision, a declaration, a commitment. You don't wait for belief to find you. You choose it. You say, I will do this. And then you move like it's already done. You walk like it's already real. You fight like it's already yours. This isn't about arrogance. It's about intent. It's about stepping forward when nothing is certain. It's about putting your flag in the ground and saying, this is who I am. This is what I will build. This is where I'm going. Not because it's easy, not because it's guaranteed, but because you've made up your mind. That's what belief is. And that belief, it makes you dangerous. You've got a vision, good. Then back it up. Do the work. Make belief a tool you use, not a dream you cling to. Because belief without action is just fantasy. And the world doesn't reward fantasy. It rewards execution. Belief is only powerful when it's paired with motion, with resilience, with discipline. That's when it cuts through doubt. That's when it pushes through fear. You decide what kind of person you are, and then you become it, through action, through repetition. You don't wait to feel ready. You move, you attack, and that momentum, that forward pressure, is what strengthens your belief. Every time you show up, you're proving yourself right. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're sharpening your mindset. You're reinforcing the truth you decided to believe. I can, I will. And when the challenges hit, and they will, that belief becomes your armor, your fuel, your weapon. You won't need to convince yourself anymore because your preparation will do the talking. You'll look adversity in the eye and say, I already chose this. I'm already in it, there's no turning back. The world respects those who move with certainty, and that certainty doesn't come from outcomes, it comes from belief. From deciding that failure isn't the end, from refusing to back down, from waking up each day and choosing to believe again, even when it's hard, even when the results aren't there yet. You don't hope. You decide, you build, you show up, you conquer, not once, but every single day. Belief isn't magic, it's war, and if you wield it right, it's the most powerful weapon you've got.